Alrighty. Continuing on Halloween week. We're like halfway there, right? It's Tuesday. We're halfway there. We're halfway to Halloween and continuing with the Strangers franchise. Shut up, phone. Shut up again. This is, like I said earlier, if you were here for the original Strangers stream earlier today, this is by far my favorite. I love this film. And as much as The Strangers beats it in terms of the atmosphere, the tension, maybe even the genuine, horror of it, this film is just so much fun. It's a blast watching this movie, and it's great seeing the strangers get what's fucking coming to them. I mean, that's the best part about this movie. Hey, Tasha. I forgot today was Tuesday until I got home from work. Then you remembered. Reality set in. Are you going to watch this one? I don't know if you saw the original. Like I said, I pretty much summed it up earlier. A couple is murdered by three masked strangers. Then you press play for this. And that's where it goes. What's up, Aunt? How are you doing today, by the way? I'm up to 2017. Nice, man. I went to Medieval Times and Dave and Buster's and Brianna's parents. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But Dave and Buster's and Medieval Times. I haven't been there, and I don't even know how long. I used to go there with my family every now and then. There was one in Jersey, I think. It was like maybe an hour drive from where we live. But yes, awesome. Yeah, this sequel was very divisive when it came out. There were a lot of people who loved it. There were a lot of people who thought it was a good sequel, and there were a lot of people who hated this movie when it came out and really loved the first film and did not like this one. I loved this more from the first watch, from when it first came out. The music used in this, the 80s soundtrack, the sound design, the editing is excellent too in this movie. There's a lot of stupid decisions, just like in the first movie, that the characters make, that it drives you nuts when you're watching it, because it's like, come on, just shoot this person or do this now, and then they don't, and it's so frustrating. This movie maybe even more so than the first one, but I don't care. I mean, this is a film that I never was big on, this whole property, and then I really loved this one. And then as time went on, I watched this movie a lot more often. Like, I watched this, I'll throw this on maybe twice a year for the last few years. And every single time, I love it more and more and more. And it has one of the best scenes of the 2010s in a horror film, in my opinion. So, yeah, the government shutdown. Yeah, it's been crazy, all this stuff going on. Hopefully that's resolved soon. After looking at it, I think I did watch the first one years and years ago, possibly. Could be. Yeah, this one came out in 2018. They were trying to make it like right after the original, and for some reason it ended up getting shelved and ended up being in development, not development hell, but it took a while to get it, the wheels turning for this one. But this is not directed by Brian Bertino like the original film, although he did co-write the story. So he was back for that in the writing department. And it was Roberts, the director's last name. I couldn't think of it earlier during the Stranger stream. I was saying Johannes, however you say it, Roberts. And I wasn't sure if it was Roberts' last name, but I checked. And yeah, it was. So Johannes Roberts is the director of this. And I think he does a great job of not only keeping a lot of the same style that Bertino uses in his movies and that the original Strangers has, but also upping all of that. And I think he does it better. I really think this is a better film in almost every way, like for me. But it's actually free also on YouTube. So I didn't even post a Look movie link. There's a YouTube link for it, and I pinned that. I'm pretty sure. If not, it's being pinned now. But yeah, the whole movie's on YouTube, and I'll wait like a minute, and we'll do a countdown and jump into it. Also, Tasha, yeah, like, it was a super popular movie, the original, when it came out. I think it made like 90 million at the box office or something like that, or 80 million off of like a $10 million budget or something like that. It was very, very successful. This one made its money back and then some, but it was like 3 times as less that it made, I think, as the original. This made 35 million on a $5 million budget or something like that. I think this had a smaller budget than the original, but it made only 35, which, I mean, that's still a nice profit. Yeah, they don't know you. Yeah, I know. It's a hard situation, man. Yeah, the masks are iconic. And then, I mean, these movies have been getting more attention lately in the last few years, the last 2 years, because of the reboot trilogy that they made, which is terrible, in my opinion, in every single way. I talked about it earlier. I don't want to get upset again and angry talking about it again. So I'm not going to. But yeah, let's do it. Let's start The Strangers Pray at Night on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. We have Martin Henderson in this, who played Noah in The Ring, and oh, what the hell's the guy's name in X? The main guy, the guy who's shooting the pornos and stuff with the whole crew. Is it Wayne? I think it's Wayne. Martin Henderson. He's good. I don't never loved him as an actor, but he's fine. And then you have Bill Pullman's son playing Luke in this. I forget who plays Kinsey, the sister, but she does a great job in this too. Everyone does really, really good. And then the mom, I forget the mom's name, but she was in Mad Men, the show, which I never got into. This is going to be a movie I'm going to have to keep the volume down, like real down, because there's a lot of music throughout this. But there's like 2 scenes in particularly that I'm going to probably mute my mic and blast the fucking thing. And I advise anybody else watching, and I'll let you know what those scenes are if you haven't seen this movie, what scenes those are and when to blast your fucking speakers. Because the music is such a highlight of this film. Both the score and the actual music used in it. But the last movie, the original, we just had a couple. This one, we got a family. We have the parents, and then we have Kinsey, who's 15, and we have Luke, the brother, who's a little bit older. I think he's like 17, something like that. I think it's his last year of high school. Yeah, because they mentioned he's going off to college next year. So he's like 17, maybe 18. Yeah, 17 probably. And they're going now to send Kinsey off to boarding school, which is something I made fun of a lot in my deep dive on this way back when I did it. Why is this girl being sent to boarding school? They never really flesh that out or give you any reason or explanation, except for she wears a Ramon shirt like this with her shoulder on one side exposed, and you see her smoking cigarettes. And I think it's mentioned that she smoked pot or something like that. That's the only thing and evidence for this girl being such like a hooligan teenager. She needs intervention immediately. She may kill people one day. Like, there's no real reason for this girl to be sent to boarding school from what I see every time I watch this movie. It's too funny. No, no angry. Oh, thank you, man. As always. Just sing the pools. I know you meant song, but it was funny. I laughed when I read that as dong. Just sing the pool dong. Yeah, me singing Total Eclipse of the Heart's not great. I could play it on piano or guitar, but, or parts of it on piano, all of it on guitar. But yeah, singing is not a great idea. You should check me out on Greetings from Tromaville. Yeah, send me a link to that, Ant, on Instagram. I'll check that out when I get a chance. Awesome, Russ. No problem, buddy. Have a great time, man. And I'm let me know what you think of this movie because you told me you didn't see the Prey at Night. Let me know. Hope you have a great night, bud. The score, yeah, is so good. I forget who did the music for this. No one really of note that I know that did like a lot of good scores or anything like that for movies, but I really think it's great in this. It's very Carpenter-esque, synth heavy, a lot. Yeah, it feels very Carpenter at times. The cinematography is great in this too. And it's the best Man in the Mask that we've gotten now with the two new chapters. And a shout out to Damien Maffei, who plays the Man in the Mask in this movie. Supposed to have him on like last year to promote his the movie he was doing that he was in, Black Eyed Susan, which was really good and is scored by the legendary Fabio Frizzi, who I have had on, who did all the Fulci scores back in the day. And he had a power outage, Damien, that day, and then we just never rescheduled it because it was to promote that movie, and time went on, and that movie, came and went. But we got to get him on sometime. And I have a lot of questions for him just for the pool scene alone in this. But he plays bad guys so well in movies. I mean, Haunt from 2019. He plays the guy dressed with like the horns, like the devil and stuff like that. That's Damien. It was surprising seeing him in the Mutilator too, playing like a Columbo type cop and playing the good guy, which is so against character for him. But his movements, his mannerisms as the Man in the Mask in this movie, I think is so much better than I think it's Kip Walker, the actor who played Man in the Mask in the first. Kip or Kid or something like that. He's good. But I think Damien just went above and beyond. Because you can have anybody really play a guy with a bag on his head. He brought I don't know, a style to it and just like a freakiness to it, and intensity to it. I can't talk. Cannot talk tonight. What I find the mask kind of hot. Some of them are quite interesting. I'll give you that. Yes, it's also on Tubi. It's on Look Movie. It's on everywhere. I mean, I joked earlier with The Strangers, the original. I had to rent it because they don't have the original anywhere for free streaming. You got to rent it. This movie, they give it away like everywhere. It's free on every streaming site. It's on Tubi. I don't think it's on Shudder, but I think it's on Plex and maybe Mubi too. It's on so many sites, and it's right here on YouTube, which is what's linked. So I really do want to know why is this girl so bad that they are sending her to boarding school? And is that even a thing anymore? Like, when's the last time you met someone who went to boarding school? Anybody? Can anybody have that experience or know anyone who went to boarding school? Because I haven't heard of that, and I don't know, since I was in high school. Maybe I knew one or two people that got sent off to like a military boarding school or just a boarding school in general. I haven't heard anyone It sat there for like 20 years. Do you know somebody? I'm sure it happens for sure. It's just I don't hear it often anymore at all. Must suck for them. But like I could see it for like people that kids that are absolute terrors and are causing problems and giving shit and causing shit for everybody around them like every day of their lives, and it gets to be a huge issue. I could see that. They don't tell us what Kinsey has done. It's right now they're talking and the mom goes outside because they're on the way to a trailer park, so I guess they're stopping because it's their aunt and it's their aunt and uncle's, I think, trailer park, and it's empty conveniently because of Labor Day weekend. So nobody's at the place except for them. So I guess they're just spending the night there and then traveling the rest of the way to drop her off at the boarding school. So the mom comes out and she's smoking a cigarette, like I said, got her little Ramones t-shirt with her shoulder hanging out, showing some skin, cut jeans. That's it. Like, that's all that she's done or has allegedly done or we know of. I really don't think smoking cigarettes and some pot here and there as a teenager is enough to warrant sending someone to boarding school. They sent my boy who was younger to military school. He came back worse. Yeah, actually, the only person that actually when I was thinking is, and I wasn't even friendly with this person in high school or middle school. They ended up going to a military boarding school for high school or whatever after middle school because they got into drugs and stuff and other shit and were running away from home a lot. And same thing. I mean, I didn't really talk to him, but I heard when he came back, like he was kind of all fucked up and was even worse than before that. I mean, it definitely happens. You got thrown to Catholic school. I went to Catholic high school. I went to public school up till 8th grade. And then I went to St. Anthony's for Catholic high school because my public high school was not a high school you wanted to go to. It was not good. Just in like the 2-3 years before that, like before I would have went to high school there was like 2 stabbings one year, and so it was like, oh, someone brought a gun into the school like another year. My parents at that time were like, no, you and your sister are not going to that fucking school. You guys are going to Catholic school. I said, there's no way I'm going to Catholic school. You're going to Catholic school. That was pretty much how that was. Probably started a lot of my defiance and rebellion against any type of authority in any way. And why I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, and I don't let anyone tell me how to do anything in my own life. I blame so it's all Catholicism's fault. I'll never forget though. There was this brother there because there were brothers that worked there at the school and stuff, and they had their own quarters they lived in. And there were a few nuns, but not many. There was like 4. Then there were just regular teachers and stuff for the most part. There were some brothers who taught some classes if they like were teachers too. But I'll never forget freshman year, there was the 3rd floor was just for freshmen, and all the freshman lockers were on the 3rd floor. And there was this dick, Brother Joshua, and he would come around. Mind you, it's 8 in the morning and stuff. You're still half asleep as a later in the 2nd, 3rd year and stuff, high school, junior year and stuff, you maybe hungover or something like that from the night before. This motherfucker would walk around and ring a cowbell through the hallways to make sure you all get to homeroom on time. He would walk around in a circle all around. It was a big, decent, school, decently sized. So he would walk around the whole 3rd floor, ringing a friggin' cowbell. And like right up into people's ears and shit too. Like, oh, it took so much to not hit somebody back then. But luckily, I've never been an angry guy, so never. It worked out. My friend Ian went to military school, came back, then exited life rather than going back. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of sad stories like that. Hey, how's that poll going? Yeah, fuck you. Do not. I had a sure thing. I thought in my head, a brilliant plan that's not working out. I put up. There's a new poll up on the community tab for the matinee on Saturday, since I had to move some stuff around this week. So I made a Saturday matinee and late night to make up for the two matinees I had to move around. And I put a poll up for funny games versus, and I was thinking of the other one because someone mentioned funny games earlier today in the stream for the strangers, and I said, and I even said then you gave me an idea, then I forgot to say what it was, but I remembered it. And I said, all right, what movie can I put up against funny games that's a sure thing that's going to lose to it? Like that funny games will win, and that'll be the watch along, the matinee on Saturday. And fucking House of Wax is winning. It's only like 10 votes cast so far, but it's like 60-40 House of Wax. I'm like, are you serious? I said, no, my whole plan's backfiring. So if you're a fan of funny games and you want that one on Saturday, go over there and make sure you vote for funny games. Tell your friends, have them vote for funny games. Make sure that shit wins. But of course, it will be the will of the people in the end. Yes, Tasha, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly the words that just came out of my mouth. Please go do exactly what I said, which is go vote for House of Wax. Yes. Thank you, Jija. Yeah, right there. I don't know why anyone would want to watch House of Wax when you can watch Funny Games. That's wild to me. Because, like I said, in my head, it was like a sure thing. Because I was looking at 2000s horror movies. Because I said, all right, let me match it up against another mid 2000s film. And I'm looking, and the first thing I saw was House of Wax. I said, oh, that terrible remake. I said, right there, perfect. Who's going to vote against Funny Games for House of Wax? And I would get my ass handed to me for that, assumption. Um, I watched the first episode for 10 minutes the other night, and then I forgot to like throw it back on because I got busy. Ended up having to walk away and not finish it. Then I never threw it back on, but I got to do that sometime soon. It was interesting the first like 10, 15 maybe minutes that I was watching. Awesome. You voted in the good movies favor. Yeah, I know. We talked about it. The only reason is because Paris Hilton gets fucking murdered, and it's great. That's the only good part about that movie. And Tasha, no, that doesn't just justify you changing your vote. Trust me, it's not that great compared to the rest of the movie. But yeah, she gets a pipe through her head and falls to the ground, and then it pushes forward into it more. It's the only good thing about that movie. Okay, cool. Thank you, man. I'll check that out. Interesting also how they get the phones out of play here. And it's like it's still stupid because there's no way in 2018 there's people, especially these kids, that they're getting her off her phone, especially when she's going to boarding school the next day. But the father says, all right, guys, can we get off our phones, please? Can we hang out and like spend time together? So they all put their phones aside. But at least they address it. Yeah, he just said it there. I mean, there's times that they don't even address it in a ton of horror films, the phone stuff. So at least they do here, even though it's almost equally as stupid as any other scenario. Dude, that's getting pinned as the comment to the stream so far. That was fucking good. Not the first pipe to her face, I'm sure. I'm positive. Awesome, awesome fucking comment. I do like Henderson as an actor. I mean, I have a lot of nostalgia for the Ring remake. I like him in that. I didn't actually even realize when I first saw X that that was him who playing Wayne. I knew it was a familiar face, but I couldn't pin it as him for some reason. It was like on the second watch of X that I realized. I said, "Oh shit, that's Martin Henderson." But he's good. And then you have Bill Pullman's son. I think Lewis Pullman. Is that his name? Pretty sure it might be Lewis. He does a really good job too in this. Like I said, the performances are great in this for the most part. Casting aside the terrible decisions made by a lot of all these characters at multiple points in the movie. That's like the only criticism I have of this movie. Is he from New Zealand? I knew he was from somewhere over there. I knew you can tell his accent even like when he hides it, but I didn't know he was from New Zealand. Yeah, he is an underrated actor. He has something about him that you instantly like, and he has like this gentleness to him in a lot of the roles that he plays. You know that you instantly kind of like him. He seems like a good person. You care for him. He's an easy face to care for. You know, as an actor. Again, we're like 20 minutes in, no evidence or any explanation of what this girl has done so bad that she needs to get sent away to boarding school at 15 years old. She's smoking a cigarette again. Oh, the humanity, the crimes that are being committed. Seems like she just started smoking too because her brother fucks with her just now. And it says, you know, you're supposed to inhale those, you know, actually inhale the cigarette. And she gets pissed and gets up and walks away. So, I mean, it seems like she's new to smoking, maybe even too. So it's just rebellious behavior. It seems like it's nothing major at all. But at least he's trying to be a good brother. And even though he said, I don't know what to say to her when the parent said, go out there and, you know, talk to her. But then he does this thing. I joked about this in the deep dive I did on this a while back. You never take a cigarette out of somebody's mouth and throw it on the ground. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't ever do that to somebody. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care if it's your best friend on earth. That's how you get killed in certain areas. Don't ever take someone's cigarette and throw it on the ground. That's a crime. But he does care for his sister, is the main takeaway. Oh, you haven't seen Funny Games? You got to watch Funny Games. You'll really like that, actually, Cal. I think you'll. I know your taste well enough. I think you'll like that film a lot. Put it this way: I've never met somebody in my life that doesn't love that movie. I've never met somebody or talked to anyone who has said I hate that movie or I don't like it. And so that's something. It's killing you to know what she did. Her mom said she started. If she started, I know. I want to know if she started sat. Says she started sat talking ton. You should be good. Try to talk English next time, man. I don't know exactly what that means, but it is killing me to know. Yes, absolutely. Because I feel for this girl. Why are they sending her and fucking her life up? Well, because she's smoking cigarettes and smoking some pot now and then, or she's got in a fight at school or something, or defied some stupid parent laws that they put in place, or who knows? That's what it seems like. I guarantee she's not knocking bitches out at school left and right every day, getting expelled and then suspended and stuff. Doesn't seem like her personality. And now we get the knock at the door with the same thing. I mean, Lucky So lucky that the light bulb they unscrew, that he doesn't immediately screw it back in, or that he doesn't have his phone to flash in her face or anything like that. Pinup girl, though, is surprisingly absent in most of this movie. I think I said, yeah, or in the stream earlier, I think she's only in 2 scenes in this. I wish we got a little more pinup girl in this. There's always one I found, the one person that didn't like Terminator 2. He exists. Oh yeah, there's always that one person who doesn't like any movie, or many people who don't like a movie. But that's insane, not liking Terminator 2. That's funny. I was saying, I was like, I wasn't sure what that is, so I'm just gonna like kind of read it and just wait for another response. A better updated version. I like this foreshadowing here too, because now Kinsey's walking with Luke and brother and sister, and they're walking together and have a little bonding moment after he really severely criminally disrespected her by taking a cigarette, throwing it on the ground. That bitch! What a bastard! Who does that? All right, yeah, it's a personal peeve. And then she throws the rock at the mailbox, and she says that, and she hits it spot on. And she said she should have let me play baseball, with you back in the day, because he said you were just a kid. She said I'm good. And then at the end of the movie, she uses that baseball bat on the end of the truck, and bashes Man in the Mask head in, and he falls off the truck. So that's cool foreshadowing. And this is when they see the open door to one of the trailers, just wide open. And we saw when they went by the office to get the keys, because again, this is their aunt and uncle. Pretty sure it's aunt and uncle who own this place. So they left. The strangers killed them. We saw that in the opening scene. And then they left a note for the family here saying, we'll meet up with you in the morning. And they left a smiley face and wrote that at the end of the note. So the strangers left that note. And then we find out later when they play the voice message here. I don't know if it's this scene or when Luke comes back with his father, but they play the message, and that's how the strangers knew the family was coming and that they were going to be here, because they call at the beginning of the movie and leave a message for the aunt and uncle. We're running a little late. We're going to be there, blah, blah, blah. So the strangers knew they were coming. This is one of the stupid jump scares in this movie, which surprisingly, thankfully, there's not a lot of. Like bad jump scares. There's some good ones. You gotta always have a dog jump out or some shit. There he is. Scares them to death. Oh, sorry, Kinsey said half to death. So, excuse me. Scares her half to death. But then seeing this shit scares them fully to death. I can guarantee that. And this is what I was saying in the stream earlier with the hello written all over the wall. This is the window. It makes sense here because they had plenty of time to write that because they knew they were coming. In the first movie, I just can't picture one of them running into the room real quick or on the outside of the window. Maybe it's written either way. I can't see them sitting there for 2 minutes scribbling hello all over the place. It makes no sense. And you could easily get caught. Like, what if they walked in the room and you see that they were writing, let me just finish this quick and then I'll sneak back in the shadows. Here it makes more sense because they had ample time ahead of time to do it. And you don't get to see much of what happened to the aunt and uncle, but they look fucked up. The uncle's face looks like mutilated. It looks like broken up and inflated like a balloon. Yeah, these two watches of the Strangers films today. This was one of my more most excited I was for the streams this week. This one especially, which is also why I chose to do both of these solo today, just to really focus on the movies. But tomorrow we have Peter Jackson's Brain Dead or Dead Alive, one of the most insane films ever made, and my favorite zombie movie. And then my top 5 film of all time for the late night is George Romero's Day of the Dead tomorrow. And I think Keith is joining me for that one. Then Matt is joining from Pugwell 316. He is joining for From Beyond, Stuart Gordon's awesome follow-up to Reanimator on Thursday for the matinee. Then my favorite film of all time, The Thing, Thursday night. And then we got 3 on Friday now for Halloween. We got Trick or Treat with Nanette at 3. Then we got Trilogy of Terror at 7. And then Carpenter's Halloween will be 11. It's scheduled for 10, but I'm going to push it to 11. Then we'll hopefully have Saturday to end it all. We'll have funny games for the matinee and Lisa and the Devil, Mario Bava for the late night. But it could be House of Wax and Lisa and the Devil. So we'll see how that poll goes. I'm going to let that poll run for a while. I'm going to let that run right up till Saturday. This is where they see that. And this is kind of cool, too. Back to the phone thing. They leave their smashed cell phones like right there on the table, on the counter for them to see it. That's cool because that would freak you the fuck out. Like, no, and all right, they got our phones and they were in here, and are they still in here? And now we have no way of reaching anybody. One of the phones still worked briefly, but that's cool. Kinsey turns around. The mom doesn't see or detect that anything's wrong behind her for a few seconds, I guess. But Dollface standing there, she looks really cool. I asked earlier in the Strangers 2008 stream, what do you guys think is the creepiest out of the Strangers? For those who didn't get to answer then, let me know. Is it Dollface, Man in the Mask, or Pinup Girl? Dollface is this one, Tasha, the blonde. Pinup Girl is the other girl. Obviously, you know who Man in the Mask is. Reminds me of the Britney Spears video. Leave her alone. Oh, you're not broken. You're just desensitized, and all these movies do that. Jump scares have been used so much that they're not effective. Yep, the masks are hot. Like a cosplay of all 3 of them. Yeah, I'll be your pinup girl. This is another. This is like stupid ass decision making. This is so annoying. She's pushing Kinsey through the top, obviously to get her daughter out of there first. Dollface is breaking the door down, and all the mom does is just stand there holding the daughter's hand and lets herself get stabbed and killed. I mean, come on, fight back, do something. I mean, those are the frustrating parts of this movie. But terrible. I mean, that sucks. And that quick zoom in on her face when she says mommy, that reminds me of camera work right out of House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. And then the music kicks in, the music that's been playing. Kinsey gets away. Mommy dearest is dead. Terrible. But yeah, the music, the song choices are so good in this. So now, I almost said Noah. What's the character's name? The dad's name in this? We'll go with Noah. Noah and Luke are now going to go into the trailer to look at the bodies that Kinsey and Luke discovered earlier of their aunt and uncle. And they were holding their noses earlier when they found the bodies, which makes no sense because if they killed them just prior that day and stuff, I mean, they're not going to be stinking up that bad after that little amount of time. So I don't know if that's some continuity error there. Wearing a shirt that says feeling stabby right now. So this is fitting. There you go. Feeling stabby. That works on a few levels. Yeah, there's like something they shoved through this guy's mouth or something. His whole mouth is fucked up, forward out of out of his face where it should be. That's the best way I could describe it. Mike. That's the father's name. Thanks, closed captioning. Thank you for the Mike groans. Yeah, this is when they hear the voice message that the mom left for the aunt and uncle earlier. And even though there are instances in this film too where they kind of they're there and they disappear and they're kind of like fucking specters, not as much as the first movie. And that's what I said earlier. I like that about this movie better. I like that they're actually human beings in this movie, the strangers. And they all get, they all, there's a lot of fight that these kids put up against them. I always love in horror movies too when they conveniently get a chair to rock or a swing to rock, just in time for the person to look out the window and see it rocking gently. Almost like they know they're in a horror movie. That's cool. When he tells Luke to run and just run right out the door. And he goes to run, and the man in the mask is just standing there. And again, Damien Maffei just looks so fucking menacing in this movie. And the way he moves and his eyes, too, that you see at some points. How was the second? Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I already did that, something like that in the From Dusk Till Dawn video. I think it was something like that. I was trying to say, what was I saying? Like shaking something up or something like this, and it was like that motion. And I was like, not that, whatever I was talking about. I think it was From Dusk Till Dawn or Incident in Ghostland. One of like the last reviews I did. And all of this too, how the father here, Mike, to keep his name in play, he sees the man in the mask outside, and he's just screaming out to him, "You better get out of here! Or call the cops! And you got 5 seconds." Counts down. Get the fuck out of here! Just shoot the guy. You found dead bodies of your family members already. He doesn't know his wife's dead yet, but like the aunt and uncle are dead. Fucking shoot this guy. Go out and guns blazing. That's the only way to do this. The way they hesitate in this movie is the only frustrating thing. When Luke hesitates and doesn't shoot Dollface when he has the perfect opportunity to. And Kinsey's screaming, "Give me the gun, Luke. If I'll fucking shoot her." Like, that's great when she starts screaming that. But those are frustrating moments. This is a cool shot, though. She's up against the fence. Dollface slowly walks up behind. Dollface has a lot of screen time in this movie. Oh, this sucks, man. This really sucks. When they find the mom, Mike's walking in and then he sees his wife dead there in the bathroom. Oh, I can't imagine. And back to the sound design and how excellent it is in this film. I love when they do this in movies most of the time, if it's pulled off well, but they do it here excellently. When he opens the door here and he sees his wife and stuff, and there's bloody handprints all over the wall and the smiley face they always leave and stuff on the mirror. And then Luke comes in and he tries to stop his son from seeing it, like, no, don't come in and stuff. And you hear the sound drown out and like the ringing and like kind of like time is stopping. And I think everyone's experienced that type of feeling when you get some shocking news or you see something shocking and you don't you can't comprehend it for a minute and everything kind of goes silent, if that makes sense. They capture it perfectly here. I love when they do that in movies. Just a really creative and even though it's been used many times in different movies, it's not a new technique or anything by any means, but it really adds another layer to immerse you into what the characters are feeling and experiencing. Yeah, the main theme of the score here, I love this. So good. And of course, they're driving around looking for Kinsey and they have to crash. Crash right into a trailer because it was Dollface, right? Steps in the middle of the road and he swerves. Because yeah, this how little pinup girl is in this movie. It's 42 minutes in and we haven't seen her yet at all. I think the first time we see her is in this scene here in a few minutes. And then we see her leading up to the best scene in the movie, and that's it. Like she got robbed in this movie on screen time. Man in the mask is in the truck. He's got 80s music blasting. Like I said, they're big 80s music fans. And apparently they're big, or the director or whoever was in charge of the music and stuff. But big Jim Steinman fans because there is at least two Jim Steinman written songs in this movie: "Total Eclipse of the Heart" and "Making Love Out of Nothing," the Air Supply song at the end, both written by Jim Steinman. And also another fun fact musically, "Total Eclipse of the Heart" and that Air Supply song were both top of the charts right behind each other. Total Eclipse of the Heart was number one in '83, I think it was, and Making Love Out of Nothing was right under at number two for a few weeks. This jump scare right here is great. That's awesome with Pinup Girl. What was her plan? Was that bitch just hiding in those pipes and stuff, just hoping that she comes in there and that she's not seen inches away in the darkness before she pops out with that great creepy line that scares the shit out of her? I don't know. They dedicated to their job. Maybe that's where she's been this entire fucking movie because it's the first time we see her. But great scare nonetheless. The poor father. I would never be able to leave my father. Knowing there's at least two maniacs that you've seen that are running around, they already killed your mom. I wouldn't be able to leave my, but I mean, I do have a younger sister, so I would have to go, look after her first. But that would be so hard. And then he does nothing to try to survive the father. He really doesn't. I mean, yeah, he's pinned in there, but in a minute when Man in the Mask shows up, just lets this guy browse through the radio. It's so funny. So he's leaving his father there to go find Kinsey, his little sister. That's right. That's what I joked about in my video on this movie when I did it long ago. They don't need to be sending this girl to boarding school. They needed to keep her around to defend this fucking family. She's kicking ass throughout this whole movie. Send her to boarding school? Nah, you're good with her right there at the house with you guys. That's cool. How you see the camera, from here, and then it looks and you see Noah, Mike, the father in the car, and then in the background you see Man in the Mask, and then he walks around the building and then slowly gets into the car. See, this is where Damien Maffei's mannerisms and performance really shines. It seems like this slow turn towards him and how he just casually it's like he knows he's there, he knows this guy's dying and is in pain and he's about to put him out of his misery, and he just looks at him like, all right. Then he just goes to the radio, starts going song to song, and he blasts it all the way up, and it just is the way he stares off into space, the look in his eyes through the holes in the bag. He brought so much more to this role than the guy in the original, and especially the guy who plays Scarecrow, his new name in the reboot chapters. Yeah, the best defense the father has is, please stop. That's literally how he tries to fight his way out of this situation. Again, he's pinned in there, I know, and he's dying anyway. This guy doesn't have to put him to kill him. He's gonna die anyway. We could talk about this, he says. Come on, man. I do like though how is that a screwdriver, or it looks like it could be a corkscrew, like with the corky, twisty part that way. But no, it does look like oh, it's not a screwdriver. It's a knife. Is it? Yeah, it's a knife. I don't know why I thought it was a screwdriver for many, many watches up until now. I always thought it was a screwdriver he stabbed him with. Hello, Prime. What's going on, man? Happy Halloween week. I don't know if you're a fan of this movie. I don't know if you want to watch along, but I can give you a timestamp. We're like 50 minutes in, 49 minutes, just past 49. It is free on YouTube. I got the link in the chat, but I'll drop it again in case anyone else wants to watch or throw it on. Yeah, it's a great scene, Tasha, right? Despite the stupidity from, we're watching The Strangers Pray at Night from 2018. That's the link on YouTube. Have you ever seen the original of The Strangers? So now she sees the truck. She's trying to hide for her life. So now it's just the two kids. It's just Kinsey and yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, as much as The Strangers, I will say this: as much as I love this film and it's my favorite, and I always preferred it to the original Strangers. No, because I said this earlier, and then I went and said I'm sticking my guns. No, it's just as well made a film, but I think the original Strangers is a better film. Like if I were to look at it as what I think is better, I think it's more successful with the tension, the atmosphere. But when it comes to the style and the creativity and the sound design is great in both, as I've mentioned in the first movie, but this one especially, and the editing and the camera work. There's so much great stuff in this. It's not an excellent movie. It's a great movie that I love to death. That has one perfect scene in it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's right. We have the toy, uh, Jack in the Box thing. And when she just appears right behind it under the blanket or whatever it is, that's cool. That's another cool scare. You remember this? Yeah, me too. I saw this in theaters. I'm pretty sure I saw the first Strangers in theaters. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did though. I know I saw this one though, and everyone was going nuts during certain scenes in this movie. But this right here drives me nuts. Put the knife down. He's holding a gun at up to Dollface. Put the knife down. What are you doing? Let's shoot this bitch in the face. Are you kidding me? She already killed your parents. Are you kidding me? And he doesn't shoot her. Where Kinsey even has to say, "Give me the gun, Luke. I'll fucking do it. I'll shoot her," and then goes nuts. I love that. But and I get it. He's a 16, 17-year-old kid. He doesn't want to kill somebody, doesn't want to hurt someone, even despite everything. He doesn't want to. That's traumatic. I mean, for some people to kill somebody. Why not try to get away instead? I get it. But no, deals off in my world, deals off the table. He killed my aunt and uncle, my mother. He doesn't know about his father being dead yet, but the whole family and everything you're doing to us, no, you're getting shot in the face immediately. There's no drop the gun. There's no turn around. There's no stop moving. There's just, oh, you're there, bam, face, like dead. That's instant. This is your first time seeing it? Cool. Well, I mean, you're just in time for like some of the best scenes in the movie. Most of it's all been the usual build up, like the first one. Strangers come to this trailer park. They're trying to send. They have this family of four. The parents are sending the younger girl. She's 15 off to boarding school. They're taking her there the next morning, and the strangers attack. Now both the parents are dead. Now it's up to the siblings to try to fight back or get the hell out of there. That's another thing, that he puts the gun down right there. You don't know where these people are. How do you know they're not hiding in the room right there? This girl didn't even realize there was a human being like inches, if not a foot, from her in a tunnel or whatever that was a little bit ago. They could be right there and grab that gun. That gun wouldn't leave my hand. But I always forget the actress's name. I know she was in Pretty Little Liars, which I never got into, or a spin-off of it. I don't really remember seeing her in anything else. But she really does a good job in this. And of course, they have time to go down memory lane in a huge crisis situation like this with several murderers after you. Instead of let's get out of here, which should have been the plan since the very beginning. Let's talk about stories of yore when we grew up. I know it's to get her mind off the pain too. But still, get out of here. Jesus. It's just a trailer park. It's not Alcatraz. Like, it's not a prison. This isn't like a lockdown area or anything like that. It's a fucking trailer park. There's no other cars anywhere laying around. None of the families that live in this trailer. Well, I mean, it's a trailer park, but none of them in this trailer park have a second vehicle, even though with the bullshit excuse that excuses why there's nobody here because it's Labor Day weekend. So that's why they're all alone and no one's around to hear or witness any of this. Still, they don't have a second vehicle. Not one family who lives in a trailer park has another car that even if they're away for Labor Day weekend, there's another car there. They can't hotwire it. They can't find the keys for it. I don't know. But that's just my usual fun nitpicking. And yeah, I mean, see, of course. Those are the important questions. Ding, ding. Yeah, the score is very underrated for this film. Like immensely. But even though they do make dumbass decisions, they still kick major ass like going forward. So I mean, I guess they get better at this. Almost like being chased by murderers and psychopaths that killed your whole family, your parents, your aunt and uncle. Almost like that lights a fire under your ass to try to survive. Oh yeah, no, this is the sequel. But honestly, you don't have to. Tasha didn't see the original either, and she's watching this. I said to her, the sum up for the original is these are like home invasion films. The three strangers broke into a couple's home after they came back for a wedding. It's just a couple, and they kill them. They fuck with them the whole time, and they kill the couple at the end. And sequel here. That's basically the recap. It's short and sweet. All right, we're coming up on the best scene in the movie. This scene is fucking perfect in every way. And I will probably, and I advise anyone else watching to do the same, to blast whatever medium you're watching this through, blast the volume for this whole scene coming up in a few minutes. I'll be muting my mic for a minute or two here and there because I got to do the same. I got to blast it. It's so good. The camera work, the editing, the sound design, the creativity, the lighting, the set of the pool, the song used is a favorite 80s song of mine. All of it is so well done. It's the best scene in this entire property of the now 4, almost 5 films that we'll have soon. And I like this part too with that's Greensleeves playing on the whatever that is, the Slurpee machine it looks like or something. That's playing the music. Also, stupid decisions on the killer's parts too, because Pinup Girl easily could have killed his ass right here and there, and she doesn't. We're at almost exactly the hour mark, 59 minutes and 48 seconds. And now he's running with the golf club, runs out to the pool area. And then all of a sudden, you don't know what to do. And the power comes on. I'm going to be muting the mic for the next minute or two. That crash zoom right there when Pinup Girl runs, that's so good, man. I love that. At least he gets the weapon, the knife, away from her. Then, of course, you have to be stupid and try to unmask them. But he fucking murders her ass. I mean, real easily, too. Oh, I love it. Again, the sound design, the axe drag on the floor. Oh, so good. This is the highlight of this whole scene. I mean, the song makes up so much of it. But when he got the water stuff, when they're under the water and the sound gets muffled, just like you would hear it underwater, and they keep going above and below it, and it's so fucking good. It's so good. This is a perfect scene. And man, it's sad what happens to him, man. And you feel that one stab. He stabs him once. Everything, the setting, the palm trees, the neon lights, Everything about that scene from a technical aspect of making a movie is perfection. Like, it's one of my favorite scenes of the 2010s in a horror film. It's so well executed. And then he's just floating in the water, bleeding out. And again, his ear floats under the water and it muffles, and then it's back up. I mean, it's so creative, and that's what really pisses me off with the Rennie Harlan films. There's nothing with even a shred of the creativity here in this film, and just this scene alone. And here's his younger sister to the rescue. Thank God, conveniently, she found his ass on time. But then I thought after the first watch of this, when I first saw it when it came out, it makes sense that she would know exactly where they are. They've been blasting Total Eclipse of the Heart for the last fucking 4 minutes. So, and all the lights and stuff. So she, of course, knew exactly where they were. I'm singing now, Harlan. Isn't that a great scene, Tasha? It's so good. Like, props to everyone who worked on that scene. I mean, the camera people, camera operators, the sound people. I mean, obviously, Johannes Roberts directing it, and Damien Maffei's performance, and Pullman's performance, the choreography, all of it. But I love that zoom in right at the beginning when pinup girl runs at him, and then he turns around, smashes her in the face with the iron, the golf club. That's so cool. I love that zoom in. Yo, what up, man? How you doing, Keith? I'm good. We just hit the we just passed the best scene in the movie, the pool scene. And I obviously went on my rave about it like I usually do whenever this movie comes up. Yeah, he's still alive. And yeah, he does. That's the thing I love about this. Another thing I love about this movie is just how much they fight back. Like, they're the only ones in this whole franchise, these two kids, that really kick ass. I mean, he already killed one of them. He killed Pinup Girl. This is brutal, but apparently neither of them have anything outside of their, they have no peripheral vision at all, that they don't see Dollface walk up casually behind this dude right from the side of her, mind you, and slit the cop's throat. You didn't see somebody walk like this through your field of vision, and then right in front of you, behind the guy that you're looking at, until it was too late. But this is badass. She gets in the car, that she finds the shotgun. She messes with her first, Dollface, jiggles the keys up. I got him. I got those keys. You ain't leaving. I haven't given my opinion yet, though, on which one I think is the creepiest out of the three strangers. It's not the man in the mask. It's between Dollface and Pinup Girl. I think it might be Pinup Girl for me. I think she's really fucking creepy, and that mask is like the coup de grace, like that just makes it so terrifying. Dollface is scary too. Something about Pinup Girl, how it looks like a porcelain doll, and with the black wavy hair. She is one creep motherfucker, for you Dexter fans. Just blows her away with that shotgun, and we get to actually see her face. The dark-haired one's Pinup Girl, Keith. Yeah, the one here that she just blew away is Dollface, the blonde. That's the one who always goes up to the door and says, "Is Tamara home?" and starts the whole thing. And instead of the first movie's great line with, "Why are you doing this? Because you were home. Why did you do this to us? Why not?" With her sadistic laugh after that, with the blood coming out of her mouth. Love that line too. I like that better than "because you were home." And fucking shoots her right in the face. So those two are dead beyond dead. The man in the mask is the only one left now. And this girl will never be the same the rest of her life. Are you kidding me? That's what the whole ending is about. I literally, though, I can do like a 20-minute video just on the pool scene in this movie, talking about every little detail about that. Last time I talked to Damien Maffei, who plays the man in the mask, it was so nice of him. He messaged me because I said I was supposed to have him on last year, and he had a power outage, and we just never ended up rescheduling it. But he messaged me like 2 months ago and said, out of the blue, and just said, "I just listened to your Fabio Frizzi interview, dude. Amazing stuff." He's like, "I got a drive ahead of me. I'm going to be listening to a few your newer interviews." And I said, "Oh, dude, that means so much to me that you took the time to do that." Because he did that movie last year, Black Eyed Susan. He starred in, Damien Maffei, that Fritzy did the score for. So he's friendly with Fritzy a bit. Yeah, oh, no problem, dude. Mask with the short hair. Yeah, pinup girl. Yeah, that's what I think too. And she, like I said earlier before you came in, she's barely in this movie. She's in two scenes. When she jump scares her in the pipes or whatever she's hiding in, and said we only just started, and it comes out of the shadows. And then in the little store of the trailer park leading into the pool scene where she's killed. That's the only time you see her. Dollface is much more prevalent, and then Man in the Mask is the most prevalent. Yeah, so this is what I was saying with the music earlier. Another Jim Steinman written song. He did Total Eclipse of the Heart, and now you got the Air Supply song, yeah. And this is another great scene, man. This this girl kicks such ass in this movie. She might be a favorite final girl for me from like the 2000s forward. And I'm sure that's not a pick you would hear on almost anybody else's list. If they were to make a list like that, favorite like post 2000s final girls, Kinsey would not come up often, which is a shame. She single handedly, well, not single, her brother killed Pinup Girl. She killed 2 out of 3 of the strangers. And she's 15. They wanted to send her ass off to boarding school. No, she should have been the bodyguard for the home. Exactly. You got it. He worked on, did a lot of writing on Bad Out of Hell. He wrote I'd Do Anything for Love, but I won't do that. And he wrote Total Eclipse of the Heart, and he wrote Make Love Out of Nothing at All, the Air Supply song here. So 2 Steinman songs prevalently used in this movie. He might have written another song or two in this, and I just don't know that it's him who wrote it. Just this movie has so much style to it compared to the original, which has its own great style, but it's a much darker film. It's a lot more, you know, realistic in a way. There's probably less dumb decisions by the characters in that film than this one, but just the style alone, and a lot of and Keith, you're one just like me. To the style is so important, and for us, and I don't know. I've always loved this one more than the original. I think it's such a better film to watch. How he's still alive and walking, who cares? I love it. It doesn't matter. And Damien's eyes too, through when before she lit the match and put him on fire, or her lighter and dropped it, where he's just staring at her. The way his eyes look so like screw you, man. Like, but he doesn't freak out when he gets lit on fire. He's not screaming like he should or anything like that. He's just pissed. That's right. And there's a piece of glass he pulls out of his stomach too, and collapses to the ground. So he should be dead. What's up, Russ? Welcome back, buddy. Hey, Rocky. How you doing, hon? Good to see you as always. Speaking of Rocky, the Rocky Horror Picture Show Meatloaf song. Oh, okay, you wrote that too. Now, I was never a fan of that movie. I only watched it once as a kid, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You'll see. But the short answer, I mean, just in case you just need to know now, no, but I'll question how he survived when we see him. And this is straight up Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Straight homage to the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this is what I meant earlier with that great foreshadowing with the conversation with her and her brother walking, of her saying, you should let me play baseball as a kid, and knocking his ass right off the truck here with the baseball bat. But her screaming on the truck that's as Texas Chainsaw as you can get. Yeah, dude, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights is another favorite song of all time for me. That's like a top 10, top 20 song. Yeah, that's right. Yep. He's in a Fight Club and a roadie. Yep. Yeah, that's a movie I really got to watch again, because it would honestly be like a complete blind watch at this point. I know I watched it as a kid because Clue is my second favorite comedy of all time, and just Tim Curry being in it, I had to check it out. And I'm not a musical fan, which I just saw you say it's the only musical you like. Yeah, I'm not big on musicals, which is weird, you would think, as a lifelong musician. Just never was big on musicals. Same with opera. I was never a fan of opera music or opera theater or anything like that. So here's the brother, and he's on, he's got a tube on him for air and stuff. He's got old tubes in him and stuff. He seems stable, but I don't know. Is he in a coma or did he survive? It must have taken a decent amount of time to get there. The ambulance and the cops and everything. He lost a lot of blood in that pool. So I don't know if he survives this. They don't explicitly say like he's all right. They just show him here. And then you have the ending here, which some people, I don't know how anybody speculates that they're alive. They're dead as shit. All three of the strangers are dead. That's just a representation of her trauma, and that she's fucked up forever and she will never be the same again. You hear the knock at the door in the hospital, and then you hear that squeaky toy sound. That's just her hearing it. There is no way any of them are made it through a hospital looking the way that the man in the mask did, all burnt up. He wouldn't have the toy anyway. He's on the bridge. He's going to go back just for the toy to come back. That makes no sense. And Dollface was shot point blank twice, once in the face with a shotgun. So they're all dead. and she's going to be screwed up for the rest of her life. And same with her brother, if he did survive that. I mean, you could look at it like he's in a coma and he might not make it out of it, because we never obviously see these characters again. But that is The Strangers Pray at Night. Love that movie so much. And that was the last good Strangers film, because chapters 1 and 2. I think that's why this movie, like I said, when it came out, it was very divisive. There were people who liked it, there were people who loved it, and there were people who hated this film and loved the original, and they could not get behind this movie. And I could see it, because it's a totally different film and vibe and pacing and everything like that than the first film. So if they were expecting a more serious, grounded continuation of the first movie, like in tone and stuff, I can absolutely see why people didn't care for this one at all. But oh man, the sound design, the characters, even though they make so many stupid decisions, I mean, they're very family. Like, they feel like an actual family, and they give great performances. All the strangers do a great job, especially Damien. So shout out Damien, if you ever see this. We got to have you on finally. It's been a while. I talk to him every now and then. He's a great guy. Plays an amazing bad guy though. So it was great seeing him. As I said, in Mutilator 2, he plays a cop that's like investigating all the murders in that movie happening, and it was so weird seeing Damien Maffei playing a cop in a movie instead of some vicious killer and bad guy. And the sound design is another huge standout of this. The editing, the cinematography, the camera work, the directing. It's almost, I almost have no negatives for this movie, besides the dumbass decisions and logic that the characters use throughout it. But yeah, excellent movie. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. As always, it's been a blast this week, and I am looking forward to tomorrow. We have, yes, Dead Alive for the matinee at 3 p.m. My favorite zombie film. And then my other favorite zombie film, Day of the Dead by Romero. Keith, are you joining? You want to join for any of those two? I know you're joining for Halloween. Matt's joining for From Beyond, Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. We're doing as the matinee on the 30th. And then The Thing that night. I got no one planned for that one, too, Keith, if you want to join for The Thing. So sad to see Tim Curry. Yeah, I know. He's such a legend. He was in, he had a small cameo in Stream, right? Yeah, it was Stream. From the, Michael Levy or Jason Levy, the Levy brothers, who also worked on or were a part of Terrifier films. Wasn't that great of a movie, but Tim Curry had like a 2-second cameo at the end, but not even his face, like it's his voice. That movie was not that good. But all right, guys, everyone have a great night. Yeah, just message me, Keith, about any of those. You can do day. All right, cool, perfect. We'll do day tomorrow night. All right, guys, everyone have a good night. I'll try to not cut myself off at the end of this.